story time, so go grab a drink, maybe some coffee, and listen to this Reddit travel story and our travel tips for how to get out of crazy situations like this. Hello, I'm Jeanette at Rustic Pathways, and we take students ages 12 to 22 on immersive travel programs all around the world. Now, before I get into this wild story and our travel tips, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Okay, so let's get started. This travel story comes from Reddit user Just Add Milk. When I was 17 and on an exchange, my friends and I decided to take a circuit trip to see more of China. We lived in the north, Harbin, so the first step was to take a train down to Beijing and meet up with some other exchange kids. Since we were underage and there were strict rules about travel, we told our host families we were visiting our friends in a town just a few hours north called Jiamusi. Brace yourself, the story has lots of lessons to be learned, but it's a good thing that they were making plans to meet up with friends and travel in a group, which is always a good idea when you're underage. So the three of us get dropped off at the train station 15 minutes before the train to Jiamusi, planning to wait there for a few hours before the Beijing train boards. Long story short, we get a little cocky about time and end up running to our gate just 10 minutes before the train's scheduled to leave. Because it's China, where timeliness can go a bit too far, the train is already gone. Missing boats, missing trains, missing flights, all of this is very common when people are traveling. So if something like this happens and you miss your train, it's okay. Just take a moment because there's always a solution. Okay, so this is where the story starts to go a little south. The gate manager just laughs at us, but a young-looking guy comes over, asks to look at our tickets. So we hand them over and he takes off running. We give chase to the laughs of the gate manager and others in the area, but this dude's too fast and we lose him. Getting robbed is never fun, especially when people are looking at you and laughing at you in the process. So something to keep in mind is to always hold on to your ticket. If somebody asks to see your ticket, just hold on to it with a death grip. The same thing goes for your passport. Just make sure to hold on to it at all times and never hand it over to anyone unless it is an official airport employee that's asking it for you. Maybe not a janitor might not want your passport, but at the ticketing, with the ticketing agent or when you're boarding the plane. So there we are sitting in the train station. We can't go home because it's not like we can say, oh, we missed the train to Jiamusi hours ago and just came back now. We couldn't afford new tickets, so we stalked the station for the guy before, and in true teenage fashion, we sat ourselves down and moped. This is going to escalate quite quickly, so get ready. Suddenly, this very shady older woman leans over and whispers in my ear, "You want to go to Beijing? I can get you there for half the price of that train." Anytime anyone whispers, that's a red flag. Red flag number one. Fool us once, right? So we politely tell her we're not sure we're interested. She gets assertive, grabs me by the arm, and starts pulling me up, saying she'll take us to Beijing. My friend wrestles me back and is now way beyond suspicious. It's never a good thing to be the rope in a tug of war getting pulled between a shady stranger and your friend. If you're in this situation, you need to just be confident and assertive and say, no, thank you, and then walk away. You can regroup with your friends to, say, a bathroom, and you can go in there, regroup, try to figure out what your next plan of action is. In situations like this, it's always good to be confident and assertive, and you don't even have to give an explanation. You can just say, no, thank you, put your hand up, and then just go to a more public place, maybe go across the street to a restaurant even, and just get yourself out of the situation. And don't be embarrassed to cause a scene. If you have to shout, if you have to raise your voice, that's okay. I know you might not want to sound rude or offend anyone, but if you are feeling unsafe, just do whatever it takes. Cause a scene even and just shout, no, stay back, no thank you, I'm not interested. Any of those combinations will work. My friend asks her to come with him as he goes from stranger to stranger, telling our situation and asking if this woman sounded trustworthy. Some said yes, some said no. It was a pretty clever idea to go around and ask the locals, what they thought about the situation. But an even better idea would have been to go to the information desk at the train station and speak to someone there. You'll always find these information desks at airports, at train stations, and just kind of in the middle of the city sometimes. And they are a wealth of information and resources for travelers. Well, that was good enough for us, so we follow her out of the station to an alley behind it. We stop outside a convenience store where 3 big guys ask to take our bags. This is good advice even within your own home country. Always keep an eye on your bags and don't let anyone take them. We're now very uncomfortable and try to resist, but they snatch them and take them to the back. We're trying to ask the lady what's going on, but she keeps telling us they work for her, it'll be fine, sit here for 45 minutes, and then gives us each a lollipop to bide our time. It's never too late to just walk away. Don't feel bad. Don't think you're being rude. If you think you're going to offend someone, it's okay. It's better to be safe than sorry. At that point, we're really up the creek, so what are we going to do? We sat down and sucked on our candy in very dejected silence. 45 minutes pass, more people are milling around. Shady lot by the look of most of them, and most didn't speak Mandarin or English. My friend starts crying. She cried easily, but it was stressful. Also, it's okay if you do get a little bit emotional when things go wrong during your travel experience. Like, it's a totally normal reaction. So the lady keeps shoving convenience store snacks on us and not leaving until we eat them. We started joking about how nice it was that the thieves and kidnappers gave us candy. If someone is offering you food and drink and you're uncomfortable taking that, whether that's in China, in an alleyway, or at a party back home, because, you don't know their intentions or you don't know who they are, and they're not taking no for an answer, you can just take it and either hold on to it or say that you're allergic and you can't have it. No one is going to force feed you, and if they are, then that is the point where you should be running away and shouting for help. And out of nowhere, I don't know how it even fit in the alley, comes a bus. There's no seats inside, but beds stacked in 3s. One of the men opened the bottom hatch, and there are our bags. We're told to take off our shoes, giving slippers and a blanket, and it turns out it was a commuter bus. Actually, a lot what I imagined the night bus in Harry Potter was like. Over the trip, we end up having a ball with the other passengers, one of which was a very drunk worker from the far-off Uyghur province who sang folk songs the whole way. Came into Beijing with a great story. What a good ending for that wild story. Now, the reason that we shared this tips is not to be like, don't do this, don't do that. We want you to have adventures. We want you to have fun. We want you to step out of your comfort zone when you travel. At the same time, we want you to make smart choices. And that goes for anyone, whether they're 12 or 42. You can always just stop, take a minute, regroup, think about what's happening, think about the things that you can do in the situation so that you can stay in control. So give yourself time, trust yourself to make good decisions because you are capable. If you have any crazy travel stories to share with us, please let us know in the comments below. We absolutely love hearing from you. Or if you'd like more information on our student travel programs, then make sure to check out our video description.